Jingle All the Way was filmed in Minnesota.
Really?
One good thing's come out of Minnesota other than Kirby Puckett and Prince.
Those are probably the only two good things that ever came out of Minnesota.
Welcome to Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather, your weekly football podcast recorded right here in the heart of Sin City. Join Mike and the Feather as they dive into the world of sports bet predictions, game analysis, and serve up a healthy dose of Vegas-style humor. Whether you're looking to ride the winning streak or soar to new heights in your football knowledge, this is the podcast for you. Let's embark on this gridiron adventure together from the entertainment capital of the world.
Hey, Jason, fun fact, that actually isn't a cozy Christmas fire behind us. That was footage I took of the Strip last June. It was a cool and comfortable 116 degrees. Actual live footage. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to an incredible time of the year. It is week 16 in the NFL, and it is also the holiday season. Hope you guys are safe and healthy, and whatever you're celebrating, even if it's just the fact that it's another day of the week, we hope you're having a great time doing it and you are feeling fine. We missed you last week. We were actually live at the Raiders game, witnessing Raiders history. The Raiders blowing out the Chargers 63-21 and somehow not trashing the stadium afterwards. But also something about that's the highest score the Raiders have ever had in a game in their history. So,
Yeah, my second Raider game ever, and we witnessed history. 63 points, Raiders.
And that was the one you were a little bit. We bet on it, right? We were a little bit sketchy.
We did bet on it. Yeah.
Was it -3 or -3.5?
-3.
We were like, I don't know, but you got to put something on it. I wish I could go back and just bet all of it and enjoy that game even more.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the Chargers can make teams look good. That we witnessed the end of Coach Staley.
Brandon Staley, that was the dagger that ended his career.
You said that at the start of the second quarter when it was already like 21-0. You're like, he's fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but I think everybody's been waiting for that, and that was just the ultra nail in the coffin before they threw it in the incinerator.
Yep.
That's his career right there with the Chargers up in smoke. So
yeah, it was a good week last week. That kicked off the week with a fun game, and then the games as well were pretty good for us this week. 2-1. Unfortunately, had one stinker in there.
The Jags just looked like they had many opportunities to get that score closer, and then they just constantly failed. So I don't know. It's another tough season for Trevor Lawrence towards the end. Who knows if he's going to even play?
Concussion protocol.
Yeah,
he may or may not play. That's going to be interesting for Anthony. We play
fantasy football.
Fantasy football. We got the bye last week. Now we play. The winner goes to the Super Bowl, and I think we're in good shape. Let's do it.
So as the Feather said, last week we were 2-1 on the picks. We'll go ahead and put those results up for you on the screen as a reminder. All right, guys, before we get into it, please, if you have enjoyed the content throughout the year, we're going to have lots more stuff even after the NFL season. So make sure you click subscribe down below so you're notified. A lot more stuff coming, some shorts, some funny things. We look forward to bringing it to you. We have for you this week, though, 4 picks.
I won!
These are all going to be Sunday games, and Sunday is Christmas Eve. So while you're doing some of your last-minute shopping, possibly streaming your games on your phone, these are the 4 picks for this week that you can enjoy. We are going to start with a team Jason has been known to like in the past. This is the 1 p.m. Eastern Time game between the 6-8 Green Bay Packers at the now 2-12. Big win this past week.
Big win for the Panthers against the Atlanta Falcons. Gross.
So Packers at the 2-12 Carolina Panthers. Packers are a 4.5-point favorite on the road.
All right, here we go. The Packers have been pretty heartbreaking. They were sitting pretty 6-6, looking 70-some% chance to make the playoffs, facing the lowly Giants, and Tommy DeVito had other things in mind, and pretty much
send a letter to Santa right now. There's still time. He is still watching. You're now on the naughty list. The
Packer defense had other things in mind as they fell short, countless turnovers, and now they've taken not 1 but 2 losses after a loss to Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay last week. So now they're sitting up at 6-8, but their backs are up against a wall. They win the next 3. They're like 89% to make the playoffs. and their last 3 are very winnable: Carolina, Minnesota, Chicago. It seems very reasonable, and I think that it's going to be a rough year. I think they're going to fire the defensive coordinator, personally, at the end of the year. They should do it now, but I guess they probably see there's no point for some reason or another. They think it's better to wait, but I think he will not be there next year. But that being said, luckily for Green Bay, the Panthers only score about 14 points a game, and their offense is god-awful. Even Joe Barry can't fuck this one up. It's that simple. They're that bad, and this team should not be able to put more than 10 points up on Green Bay. And now Carolina's defense has been okay, but Jordan Love is playing great. He's playing some of the best football the last 7 games of any quarterback in the entire NFL, and it's his first year starter. Wide receiving core, Jaden Reed. He's 2 catches away from the all-time most catches by a rookie in his first year, looking to surpass all-time great Sterling Sharp of the Green Bay Packers. His career was cut short, but he was a dynamic receiver. That's very rare air up there to be up there with that kind of company. Even Devontae Adams doesn't have that kind of a stat when he started with the Green Bay Packers. He didn't start that good. That being said, the rest of the wide receivers are super solid. This team is so young. The wide receiving core is so young. They're coming together with Jordan Love. They're both, the same. They're all the same age, and they're learning together. They're going through good times, bad times, and they're just gelling. And it's just coming together nicely. The defense, like I said, has been the Achilles heel the last couple of weeks, and I think they're going to work out those issues. And like I said, Bryce Young having a really rough rookie campaign. And as far as I can see from here on out, Green Bay, they're going to run the tables, and it's going to start this week against the Carolina Panthers. Take Green Bay, minus 4.5, 4 units, take it to the bank.
All right, playing across the country, there are 2 teams in your division. It is a 1 p.m. Eastern Time matchup between the 10-4 Detroit Lions and the 7-7 Minnesota Vikings. The line is currently -3 for the Lions.
All right, guys, we got the Lions at Vikings. Last week, the Lions, who fell off track, losing 2 of 3, got back on track against the Denver Broncos, and they got the big win, double-digit victory, no problem. On the flip side, the Minnesota Vikings, they're struggling. They're losers of 3 out of 4. They got in-comes quarterback Nick Mullins, and he was a former 49er, had a couple games he played there. And they did not win. They lost, and they've lost 3 out of 4. And they're trying. The one good thing for Minnesota is their defense has been actually pretty solid, but that offense has lost its footing the last 4 games, and they got problems. Justin Jefferson is back, but he was kind of a non-factor overall. T.J. Hawkinson's been good, but this Minnesota Viking team is struggling. Now, on the other side, you got Detroit Lions. Jared Goff went for 5 touchdown passes last week, and he's scorched earth. This Lions team is hungry. Dan Campbell has these guys believing, and they're pumped up because if they win this week, they win their first division since 1993. That's a long time. 92 or 93, something like that.
30 years at the very least then.
Yeah, so since they won a division. And yeah, it's a big win because if they lose both, they play Minnesota 2 out of the last 3. So if Minnesota would beat them twice and the other game, Detroit possibly could lose the division. So Detroit's going to want to come in. They're in Minnesota, keep on rolling. I think Detroit's hungry. Their defense hasn't been great. They did a little bit better last week against Denver, but that's a whole nother story with Denver and Russell Wilson. They had some issues last week. Yeah, Minnesota is, we'll see what they have, but I think Detroit's going to be the team this week. I love Detroit in the dome. Jared Goff plays well in a dome setting. He's coming off a 5-touchdown game. Their 1-2 punch of Jair Gibbs and David Montgomery is unbelievable. And these guys they're fantasy beasts. The guys, they both in tandem can put up 100 yards each. They both catch the ball. They both, they do everything. Detroit's going to get it done. So my pick this week, Detroit Lions, -3 on the road. They're going to get it done as the road favorite in Minnesota. Detroit -3, 2 units all day long. Take it to the bank. Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions, division winners.
Oh, it hurts you, doesn't it? That hurts you. I see it. I heard it. I felt it. There's a disturbance in the force.
as I said that, it just like I felt like I was like in shocked, like a shock collar. But yes, I'll say it one more time: Detroit Lions win this week, cover, division champions. I'm gonna go throw up right now.
All right, pick number 3. We got a big matchup here. It is the 4:25 p.m. Eastern time game between the 10-4 Dallas Cowboys and the 10-4 Miami Dolphins. Both teams reeling from two different kinds of games. Miami riding high, beating the Jets. Cowboys getting smashed. So
And that happened to be someone's 4-unit play, wasn't it?
that was somebody's 4-unit play. Congratulations.
And did someone say they were going to get smashed?
Yes,
I did say that, right?
You did. Actually, you
Smashed.
did say they were going to get smashed.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you, man.
Santa brought you a gift there.
Hang on, self-pat one time.
All right, but yeah, so Cowboys at Dolphins, 10-4 teams, both playing critical games for each team. What do you think?
This game is definitely the game of the week, okay? This is the game of the week, the big game.
That's it. That's the big one.
The story right now is Tyreek Hill, his health. He tried to, get on the field last week. He warmed up. We're wondering, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Do they need him to win? Do they not need him to win? He did not play, but it did not matter because the Jets absolutely got the brakes beat off of Miami, won 30-0, and that was crazy. This game is going to be a little bit different. Tyreek Hill is going to be needed in this one. Bottom line, if he doesn't play, Miami's going to be in some trouble. So Miami's strength of schedule, the first 14 games, is the weakest and the worst in the NFL. The opponents that they face have a .393 winning percentage, and they're flat out terrible. Miami hasn't found a way to beat a team with a winning record this year. Now, their last 3 games of the season, they have the hardest schedule, and the teams they're playing have the highest winning percentage of a .690 winning percentage, which is outstanding. So that's going to mean tough sledding for the last 3 games for the Miami Dolphins to try to win the division over the Buffalo Bills and play to try to keep or get a bye. The Cowboys' CeeDee Lamb is playing outstanding. Dak Prescott is having an MVP year up until last week when basically that went out the door. Played terrible. Literally terrible. They kept him in there it was crazy. They kept him in the game at the very end just to put up some stats because they were literally at 3 points and everyone else had pulled everybody, but they kept him in there when the game's over, like as if to try to get a touchdown.
Can you imagine if he just gotten hurt, though? I mean, that's stuff that hasn't ever happened before, too. Like, you keep the players in a bit too long for no good reason.
Yeah, I understand.
No CeeDee Lamb for the rest of the season. If their season isn't done already, it would be done then.
Yeah, I understand why, you don't want to, give up per se, but at this point, they had zero chance. So keeping them in there to put up a useless score looks good on the stat sheet, but it doesn't make any sense. So Tony Pollard is having an off year this year. He's not doing what he did last year, but that being said, he's still floating around 900 yards rushing. Dak's poised for around 4,600 yards this year for the season if he finishes out strong. On the other side of the ball, you got Tua, who's poised to hit 5,000 yards on a year. Good chance of that. And Tyreek Hill is still live for 2,000 yards.
He's still live.
He's still live for it. Yep. He's
won at least one big game.
He's almost 1,600 yards right now, so he has 400 yards over 3 games. So that's doable.
So if he gets like 2 125s and 100, he's right in there. So that'd be insane.
Math is not good right now.
Did I do 300 or 400?
Yeah, 300.
Yeah.
So 400. He needs to put up a couple $150s and then another 100.
Okay.
So it's all doable. But the question is, I don't know if he's going to play this week. I don't know if it's a good idea for him to play. They may need to think big picture and let him get right as opposed to playing, doing more harm, and then maybe missing more games in the back end. So Raheem Mostert's been pretty good. He's floating right around 1,000 yards this year, and that running game for Miami has been excellent. This offense for Miami all around has been great. Like I said, the only knock on Miami is they haven't beat a team with a winning record, and they just seem to not be able to win against a good team. They fell short against Kansas City. They got the brakes beat off them by Buffalo. And here we go. Dallas Cowboys in Miami. Huge game for both teams. Bottom line, how about them Cowboys? Dallas Cowboys +1.5 all day long. Dak is going to be back on track. It's in Miami. The weather's going to be nicer. And I just don't think Tyreek Hill is probably not going to play, or he's going to be possibly a non-factor. Dallas is going to be the better team in the field this week. They're going to get it done. Take the Dallas Cowboys plus 1.5. We're going to go 2 units. Boom.
Think Dak can become a superhero?
It's turbo time.
The last one is the Sunday night football game between two teams, at least one of them that might put your kids to sleep early before Santa Claus comes. So there's a good game to put on TV to get the little ones to bed. It is the 8:15 p.m. Eastern time game between the 3-11 New England Patriots. They're 3. Awful. At the 7-7 Denver Broncos. Broncos are a 6-point favorite at home.
The Patriots season is in the crapper, and it cannot get any worse.
Merry Christmas! Dinner was full!
The Patriots are averaging 13 points a game. That's embarrassing. Their offense is terrible. I don't even know who's going to be quarterback this week because it doesn't matter. Bailey Zappi, unless Tom Brady's coming back 5 years younger, it doesn't make a difference. And the Patriots, terrible. On the other side, you get the Broncos. The Broncos and Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, the honeymoon seems to be over. Sean Payton laid into him hard on the sidelines last week and in front of everybody. It's warranted. Russell Wilson, love you, Don, my father-in-law. He's a big Russell Wilson guy, but Russell Wilson has got to just stop being such a weirdo and play football. You need to step it up. You need to focus. You need to focus on the game and none of this other stuff that you're focusing on, okay? And Sean Payton's a little irritated, and I don't blame him, right? Because now he's gotten this Bronco team believing the defense is playing well. Guys like Cortland Sutton, they're stepping up, and this team has potential to get in and make a playoff run. It's going to take all hands on deck to get it done, though. And so that includes Russell Wilson throwing touchdowns, not making mistakes, playing fundamentally sound football like he used to back in Seattle. Belichick is about to be fired. I mean, we're living in a world where the guys won 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
6 Super Bowls. Should have been 8, but the Giants had something to say about that. So I'm not sure. I mean, Belichick's either going to be stepping down or he's going to get fired probably. They do own his rights, so maybe they're going to do something like the Saints did with trading for his rights, get a draft pick for him. We'll see. Hey, Green Bay, we're happy to take him. He could be our defensive coordinator. So, Bill, if you're listening, you want to come over to Green Bay, we'll take you next year. I'm sure they'll pay you a nice salary, and you can just chill out, focus on the defense only, and your hoodie.
Yeah, I was going to say, he won't play any place warm because he has to be able to wear the hoodie all the time.
Yeah,
so you got to go to a place where it's usually seasonally cold.
Green Bay's
most of the
perfect for
season.
him. Exactly. Green Bay, he'll have a good team around him, and he could be a defensive juggernaut. He already has an offense that's all set there. Gets the defense going, and Bill Belichick could maybe get 1, 2, 3 Super Bowls yet before it's all said and done.
All they got Bill Belichick now. It's fascinating. Take Bill Belichick to the bank, 6 units. All right, but
that being said, the Patriots defense has been good in the second half, and that's because of Bill Belichick. But this offense is a dumpster fire. I could play quarterback. Mike could play running back for this Denver game, and we could get it done. Just like Russell Wilson, we'll get it done this game. They're going to get back on track. They're going to make themselves a little bit of a run in the next 3 games. Denver, take Denver all day long. -6, it's a big number. Scary, scary number. They're in Denver, Sunday Night Football. Take the Broncos, -6. Don't stress about it. 2 units all day long. Take it to the bank. We're going 4-0 this week, baby. We're going 4-0. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year next week. Let's get it done. I'm excited. We got a couple weeks of football left. We got the fireplace brewing behind us. Boom.
all right, once again, magical time of the year. You get a Christmas Eve and a New Year's Eve with football and a Christmas Day with football. Big fantasy football matchups for us this Sunday, too. Although I'm just going to wait for your text messages because I kind of want to enjoy my Christmas Eve, my favorite day of the year. We hope you guys have been having Wednesdays and Thursdays, and when we film with some of your favorite days, we appreciate you watching. As always, we ask for those thumbs up down below. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Leave us a comment. Let us know who you're taking, what you're doing for Christmas, what you asked Santa for, what you got for Hanukkah. There's too many holidays for me to list them all, but we love reading the comments. Jason reads them all and replies to most. He's always open to any questions you have about anything related to anything we do, even other kinds of gambling, food, restaurants, things like that. We hope you guys have a happy holiday, a safe weekend. We will not be at the Westgate until the first Sunday of January, the last week of football before the playoffs begin.
Yep, with the holidays this next couple weeks with New Year's and Christmas, we will not be there.
And I highly recommend everybody just avoid the Strip on New Year's Eve. I've done it once. I guess I'm getting old. I've done it once. Not the greatest thing, but more than likely Westgate will be charging like $40 for parking. So I'm going to stay home from that one. But yes, be safe and healthy out there during the holidays. We wish you good luck this week on all your picks.
Yep. Happy holidays to everybody, and it's been a great year. It's going fast. I mean, after this week, we got 2 more regular season football games and then the playoffs. But exciting times. Enjoy your time with your family this weekend and Monday, Tuesday. And let's get it done. Big week of NFL football. Big time for fantasy players. We're talking about the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl next week. And hopefully that's going to be us next week going to the Super Bowl to win it all. And let's get it done. Until then, take it to the bank. Ho, ho, ho!
See you next week for the last episode of the year, folks.